say he's world-class bracket yet. Tobes, let's come to you before I bring Lee in, because I know Lee's got an opinion on this. Daniel Levy on your ownership, man. Where do you stand on that, bro?
I think Daniel Levy, ownership-wise, has done a lot of good for Spurs. I think he has. I think he's done a lot of good for Tottenham. Whether people want to admit it or not, he's done a lot of good for Spurs. I think when you look at the position we've been able to get to without having the name that other clubs have had in the last 20 years, without having the funding that the other clubs have had in the 20 years, that's down to good strategic moves from the likes of him and a few others behind the scenes in terms of the growth of our club. But the reason why I don't like Daniel Levy, and to be honest, I want him gone right now, same way with Henry, is that he under his ownership, Spurs are risk averse. Yeah, Spurs are risk averse. We never take any risk. And in the last 5 years, when he's tried to take a risk, he's taken a risk on the wrong things. Pochettino was screaming for years on the need to invest in this squad, to reinvigorate the team, to sign new players. And what does he do when Poch has a spiral in form? He sacks Pochettino and hires Jose Mourinho, as if that's going to fix things, instead of you doing the thing that you've been putting off for years and years and years now. How many summers do we come out of it where we say, "Rah, Spurs need 5-6 players. First, Spurs need 5 or 6 players." We've been saying that for the last 4 or 5 years. Yeah, back when we were really good, back when we were really, really good under Pochettino, all we kept saying is all Spurs need is 2 or 3 top players, and we can really win something big here. And we never got that with Daniel Levy. We never got it. Yeah, the season when we finished second behind Chelsea, the season when Conte won the league, that summer we said, "Wow, we didn't expect the title challenge, but Spurs have done magnificently well here, even though we fought it towards the end of the season. Add 2 or 3 top players, strengthen depth in attack, strengthen depth in the midfield, strengthen depth in the defense, just 3 players. And who knows what could happen? We could actually go for the title again. We could win a cup or something like that." And what happened? We brought in one player who went straight into the team in Wanyama. We brought in a dud in Sissoko, who was in a team that got relegated, and he was one of their worst players.
We could have got Gini Wijnaldum
because he had 2 good games at the Euros. Oh yeah, you go sign him instead of signing the guy who actually slapped double figures in the Premier League in Wijnaldum. So this is my issue with Levy. I appreciate all they've done for Spurs, but they've taken us to a point where they can't take us any further. Yes, they've been ambitious with Jose. Yes, they've been ambitious with Conte, but they don't have the football acumen. They don't have the capacity to know when we need to buy players, when we need to keep players, when we need to sell players. They're not asked about these things. All they care about is the bottom line and the numbers. As long as the numbers are fine, then we're good. Which is why we're in a position now where they've expected Antonio Conte to come in and get top 4 of a team that by all accounts are not good enough to get top 4, man for man.
Judges, you're chomping at the bit to come in, man.
Laughable, absolutely laughable. Like that. I mean, it is right. All the years that I've been following football, right, when Tottenham have never got to a Champions League final, right? They have now under who? They've never ever in my lifetime challenged for a title. They have now under who?
Yeah, but what was the catalyst?
When I was watching Tottenham Hotspur, right, they had a decent team for a couple of years in the FA Cup when Glenn Hoddle was playing over. Other than that, I have never seen them come above Arsenal or challenge Arsenal. Under Levy's tenure, they've not only challenged Arsenal, they've got better than Arsenal. They've got a ground now that is unbelievable, right? They've also had a manager that's took them to the top 4, which they never ever looked likely getting. Before Levy took over at Tottenham, he was fighting relegation, right? And all of a sudden now, he's not good enough. And I just think at the end of the day, Spurs, you never ever challenged for the title, and now you're saying he's not good enough because we're not challenging for the title. You've never challenged for the title. You've never challenged. Listen, you've never challenged for the league. One time you've gone for the league title. One time, and under Levy. In all the years before that, up until 1961, you've never challenged for a title. But under Levy, you have. Under Levy, you've got to a challenge. Under Levy, you've got Conte. Everybody goes to me, world-class manager Conte, right? Who got him? Who got him to the club? Who got Mourinho to the club? Let's be honest. 10 years ago, right? Mourinho and Conte wouldn't even have a look at Tottenham, and now they've managed Tottenham. Pochettino took Tottenham from nowhere, right, to a team that was unbeaten at home all season. All season, never lost a home game. Like Tottenham Hotspur, never lost a home game all season. Never heard of before. Under Levy. And his regime.
No, under Pochettino, you had it right the first time. Under Pochettino, what did Daniel Levy have to do with that season? What did he do? What did he do?
He got to a Champions League final.
Lee, I'm gonna correct you on. I'm gonna correct you on a couple points. Yeah, as I started off my point saying, Daniel Levy has done a lot of good things at Spurs. Yeah, nobody is saying that I don't think he's the worst.
You expect Spurs to win the league in the Champions League? Then is that what you're saying? So what's he done then? He's done more than what you could ever do.
My point.
He's done more for Tottenham than he could ever do.
My problem with Daniel, no, he hasn't though. There you go. You said he's done more for Tottenham than he could ever do. He hasn't. That's categorically not true. Because if he had done, in the moments where we needed him to do something, Spurs might have won something. Nobody is saying that Daniel Levy needs to go because Spurs haven't won the league. No, nobody's saying that. We don't spend as much as the league leaders. We don't have a divine right to win the league. What we are saying is at key moments, not for the first time, not for the second time, not for the third time, not for the fourth time, not for the fifth time, at key moments in different stages of his tenure where the managers have just needed a little bit more bravery, a little bit more risk for reward, he's not done it. Because he's too risk averse. Harry Redknapp in 2011, 2012, Spurs were third in the league. We were third in the league. We were looking up at the top two. January window comes. We need reinvestment into our team. What happens? He brings in Louis Saha and Ryan.
You've never had it. Why? You've never had it. All the years I've supported Arsenal, I've been there a long while. Tottenham Hotspur have never challenged for a title. So what gives you to think you're turning around and going, oh, he's done this and that? You've never ever done it. As a football club, you've never done it. He's done it.
You're fixated on this title. I'm giving you different examples. The Champions League run that you said, oh, we got to the Champions League final under Levy. You're forgetting that was a season where we signed 0 players. That was a season when we had.
When was the last time you got to?
Under another Champions League final because of Pochettino. We got to a Champions League final
in Europe
we got to a Champions League final because of Pochettino. We signed no player that season. Our squad was on its knees. We had injuries galore. We had to play a double pivot of Wanyama and Sissoko in a Champions League semi-final. Our squad was decimated, and even when he had the opportunity to buy a player in January, he didn't do it. Not to mention we lost out on how we had
before Levy came. You weren't even in Europe. So now you're criticising him because he's got you to a champion.
No,
you know what I mean? The issue we've got is when we get to a certain level, whether
he's gone.
Oh, okay, can you believe it?
He never back.
God, you're back, Henry. You're back.
Maybe that's because the level you're punching above what your expectations should be. That's what I'm saying.
I think what your frustration is. I think what your frustration is, Tobes. I think what your frustration is you feel like there needs to be that extra bit because there's that lack of ambition to just go that one further. Am I right in saying that? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. And what to support that, what I'm saying is that Daniel Levy, these aren't ambitions of just us. These are club ambitions. These are things that he said. He wants this, he wants that. He wants Tottenham to be this massive team. When we're moving into this new stadium, he said there was going to be a change. Yeah. What I'm saying is that in these moments where Spurs have the capacity to do something monumental, the backing has been lacking, bro. It's been lacking.
That's it. There's valid points on both sides of the argument because you can look at it and say, okay, we've never been in the Champions League and we've never been in a title race. But whenever we get to a certain point where we go, we're on something really good here, we never add the finished article. Whereas other chairmans, I'm not saying that we've got Abramovich, Liverpool, or City's resources, but when they can see something's building and the puzzle's starting to come together, it never happens. But then you've got to look at outside of the top four and outside of Europe, the trophy side of it. We were winning trophies in the 90s, like you said, when we were nearly getting relegated. We've won a League Cup in 21 years. We've got the highest season ticket on par with Arsenal now in the league, the highest paid chairman in Europe. But we're not getting the fans will look at it and say, okay, we'll get to the Champions League, but we're never going to go far in it. That one run, but we never get over the line. The thing that baffles me the most is Arteta won an FA Cup, right? But whenever it gets down to us in a game like that, we can never get it over the line. That's the frustrating thing from a Tottenham fan. And they'll go, but Levy hasn't given him the resources. You know, every time we get down to Champions League final, FA Cup semi-final, the League Cup, it
and
never...
the Champions League final, Tottenham Hotspur in a Champions League final.
I know, it's madness when you look at it.
It's madness. It's incredible. Like in my lifetime, if you'd have said to me, Tottenham Hotspur will get to the Champions League final, I laughed at you. I'd laughed at you. You've done it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and to be honest, I'm going to get this right. I'm not having a dig at Spurs when I say this. Done it in a lot less time than Arsenal done it, by the way. But that's not good enough for Tottenham fans.
The thing about being owners in football or chief executives or whatever, you can never let up. You can never let up. It's got to be relentless because A, that's what fans demand. Fans pay the same amount every year and they go every year home and away and everything. You can't let up. I'll give you a really good example from the Arsenal perspective. Once we supposedly paid off most of our debts or whatever at the Emirates, we signed Mesut Ozil, we finished fourth to win the FA Cup. Year after, we buy Alexis Sanchez, get a couple other players in, Danny Welbeck, I think, as well, finish third, win the FA Cup again. What did we do the summer after? By the way, we ended, I think that was the 2015, so first half of 2015, we were one of the form teams. We were playing brilliantly. We were kind of, throughout the calendar year, keeping up with Chelsea. Who do we add? Petr Cech. And then what happens the year after? The levels drop. And that is, you can say, well done, Kroenkes. You added Mesut Ozil. You gave us Alexis Sanchez. You went to, you know, two of the biggest clubs in Europe and took two of their best players, albeit, okay, they probably weren't wanted there anymore. And we went up a few levels, probably thinking Arsenal don't need too much. And then it kind of falls away. Ownership in football is so difficult. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep going. You've got to keep investing. You've got to keep adding to it because unless it's the manager literally saying, I don't want or need anymore, I'm good. Otherwise, you've got to keep reinvesting because like life, football comes at you fast. Like everyone else is improving, everyone else is adding. And in those years where Pochettino and Spurs were getting better and better, the 2 calendar years combined where they got the most points, I think there was back-to-back FA Cup semi-finals. Then they get to the Champions League final. You know, for everything that Levy did, Poch needed more. Poch needed more help.
I agree with what you're saying there, but the fact of the matter is, right, and people criticise Tottenham for this and beat a stick at Tottenham for this, is that when they played, apart from that, Leicester was a freak. At the end of the day, we're in an era now where you're playing up against unfair rules. If I'll be honest, Chelsea have been running at a loss for so many years now, but have been able to win trophy after trophy after trophy. Now, going back into my day and all that, like Tottenham were a much bigger club than Chelsea. Much bigger club. You had players like Jason Cundy leaving Chelsea to go to Spurs to better his career. You know what I mean? Like, let's get it right. The fact of the matter is now you've got Manchester City, like, who have never won anything. And funny, the last time I see them in an FA Cup final was against Spurs. That's how long ago it was. Tottenham beat them, right? Now, winning trophy after trophy after trophy because they've got money. Now, looking at Manchester City now, we're 20 points behind them. Tottenham the same, 20 whatever points behind them. They've gone and got Haaland in and all that. Levy ain't going to be able to do that, and nor is Kroenke. So you're up against it, whatever way you look at it, like, you know, and that's. But you know, so you're saying to like Levy, you're saying to Kroenke, I'll tell you what, we're spending another 200 million. Spend 200 million this summer. Where's it going to get you? You ain't going to get past
we're
Man
not
City.
asking for 200 million, Lee. That's where you're wrong. We're not asking for 200 million. I'm not asking for 200 million. I'm just asking for year-on-year improvement. I'm just asking for you not to stand still. I'm just asking for you to not be so reactive.
Where is the level? You know, you're battling for top four in the last 5 seasons. You've battled for top four. You've battled for top four in the last 5 seasons, and you're not happy with that. When you've been relegated and relegation through that, that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, you can't.
So basically, you're saying, but biologically, you're basically saying we can't evolve as a club. Expectations have changed. Expectations have changed. The Spurs they have, and I said that he's taken us to a point. He's taken us to a point, doing well as best as he could, and now his best is not good enough. That's what I've said. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? The way he's running, the way they run the club now, it's not.
So how far do you want to go then? Where does Tottenham's expectations go then? For a club for 60 years have been in a mid-table team.
For starters,
where are the expectations?
I'll tell you where. For starters, we don't want to wait until our players are practically dead on their feet before they get replaced. We don't want our plan A targets to constantly be tossed aside for plan B targets, and then we're in the same position 12 months time trying to sign plan A again. These are two things we don't want. These are things that they could fix. I could be here all day if I listed the list of plan A players that we could have got that could have improved our team, but we go for plan B and it fucks us in the long run. Well, long run. Yeah, it messes us up. Last season, like Henry said, with the centre back with Jose, I didn't like Jose. I didn't want Jose at our club, but we all knew we needed a top centre back. What happens? They don't get a top centre back in. They bring in an average centre back from the Championship. The average centre back has barely played a game for Spurs this season and barely played games for Spurs last season. And where has it got us? We then had to buy another £48 million centre back in the summer, and now we have to buy another centre back next summer. Him doing his job better doesn't just benefit us as a fan; it benefits him as well because we get better. The product that you are managing, that you're a custodian of, do you not want to see that product grow? Do you not want to see that?
I've seen something with John Lacey, Paul Miller.
We stagnated under Daniel Levy.
Oh, you know what I mean? I'll tell you what, like, from where I'm sitting, like, you know, listen, Spurs have never been a problem all my life, and they are now. And that's since Daniel Levy come to the club. That's how I see it. Like.
I think you make great points, Lee, because personally I do think he's done a great job, because I never saw growing up Tottenham being a threat. And then I got to my teens, and when he was taken over, all of a sudden, there they were alongside us, and they've stayed there. They haven't gone away. So I'm kind of with Lee on this one. However, I demand the best at Arsenal, and I don't think there's anything wrong with Tobes and Henry demanding more. But I just think there needs to be, like you say, Lee, a little bit of respect of where he's got you to currently. We need to move on because obviously we're going to be talking about this for a long time.
Before we move on, have we not given him respect?
No, you have. You've said that there are a lot of Tottenham fans, I'll be honest, that turn around
and say, giving that respect. I will.
Turn around and say Daniel Levy's holding us back. That's what a lot of Tottenham fans say.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
He is right now. He is
holding you back from what? Holding you back from what? That's my question. What holding you back from improving?
Holding us back from improving as a side, getting back into the top
from being bottom of the league to being bottom of the league into the top 4 in the Champions League and challenging for a title. That's not improving.
Okay, cool. All right, fine. The Kroenkes are doing a great job. Arsenal are spending.
No, they're not.
They are. The Kroenkes are doing a great job. You lot are spending loads. If you finish 4th this season, that's down to the Kroenkes, not Arteta, not the players. They're doing a great job.
21 years we was in the Champions League for. I expected to get there. Like, you know what I mean? We've got a little bit more. We've won titles.
Doesn't matter. The Kroenkes are doing a great job, Lee. Doesn't matter, Lee. The Kroenkes are doing a great job. If Arsenal get top 4, the Kroenkes gave you 150 million.
Listen, when we get into a relegation battle, then I'll have a go. You know what I mean? We've never been in a relegation battle like that. Daniel Levy, I tell you what, masterclass. I tell you what, like, this is where the arrogance of Tottenham fans are going, right? If it wasn't for Daniel Levy bringing in Harry Redknapp, Tottenham Hotspur would have got relegated that season.
You would never get relegated.
Daniel Levy.
Props to Daniel. Daniel Levy done a lot.
I like Daniel Levy. That was back when I
a lot of good things. I'm not
alone. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, I mean,
Let's move